You see these teeth?
Hell
They're
yeah.
not lasting that long.
Nah, man, you're gonna smoke right through them.
What is it about that particular chemical that just like removes your enamel?
I mean, it's probably whatever they make it with, like the caustic chemicals and Drano and shit like that they're using. That's
Yeah.
just, yeah. I mean, I don't smoke meth. Maybe we should invite somebody on the show who smokes meth and ask their input on it.
Oh, what happened to Methed Up Samurai?
I don't know. That's a good
Where is he
question.
now? We need like a Tumblr like revisited.
Where are they now? Like, we know where Cybersmith is. We can call upon him whenever we need.
So I finally it came to a head that my bathroom decided to self-destruct.
Hmm.
And so now I'm currently using my downstairs bathroom. And I realized as I was thinking about how to tell this story that it still sounds like a flex
Hmm.
because I realized I had a first world problem, which is that it takes way too long to walk to my second bathroom.
Oh, geez. Hang on.
And it's really annoying.
All right, guys. We're going to be starting a GoFundMe for Max to support him having to walk to a bathroom that's slightly farther away. You should get some US aid for that.
Well, I finished. But okay, here's the real deal, though, is that boomers made building new houses illegal.
Mm.
And in order to own a home, I had to buy a 70-year-old fucking deferred maintenance basic, like piece of crap that's never been updated. And when they did update it, they did it completely wrong, such that the bathroom has massive water damage.
Oh, perfect.
And now I get to pay, thousands and thousands of dollars to either rebuild it myself or tens of thousands of dollars to pay contractors to rebuild it.
You should.
They're building new houses illegal, and they refuse to maintain the existing homes that they sell to you for $500,000. So fuck them.
Fuck
That's
them.
what I would say.
Also, you should put in a heated bidet.
Well, we're in the discussion. Like, there are heated floor kits for like $100. And those, I was really tempted about that. And then a heated bidet. I don't know about the bidet part, because, but a heated toilet seat is definitely
that would be
something
nice.
I would consider. That's
So
really nice.
My main bathroom is pretty, it's not very large, but it has a vent, a rather large, wide vent that runs right under the sink where you would stand looking in the mirror or brushing your teeth. So I will I'll let the heat run and I'll close the bathroom door, and the floor and the bathroom in general will just be so toasty. I'll get up in the morning, it's just ready to go.
You're wearing some basketball shorts and it just wafts up through them.
Oh yeah, man.
You get that stank.
It's just another
off the paint.
Just the warm embrace of another day in capitalist America, just greeting me oh, hello, Wagey. Time to go in and sell jewelry to Mormons.
So on that note, I need to use the restroom before we start. Sorry,
Okay.
I got delayed. You could run that thing.
No, I'll do the intro while you're
delay for time. And I'll be back as quickly as possible, but it might take me an extra minute.
That's okay. And folks, as I start the intro, this is a great time to remind you that pee is stored in the balls. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Altar Podcast. So, while Max is emptying his pee reserve in his balls, I am going to play for you a short clip of some Battlefield 6 that I had going on earlier, where I slaughtered half the team in the turret of an IFV. So give me 1 sec here. I'm going to pull this up. Share my screen. There we go. So this is not live. I'm just reminding you, this already happened. So we're trying to take D on Siege of Cairo. And I was not giving this IFV up.
Are you wasting some moves in Battlefield right now?
This is a replay. I was just committing genocide with a vehicle turret earlier.
So you're the gunner.
I'm the gunner, yeah.
This is BF6, right?
Battlefield 6, yeah.
Dude, how are they just like running across the street thinking it's like the
Because they're idiots.
most effective? Like nobody's gonna pop smoke or anything like that?
Nope.
Nobody's gonna like drive or fly a drone around?
Nope. Oh, then let me see. I got another one here where I was just shooting rockets at a group of dudes down a hallway because, like, the rule, it's called the Rule of Jamshid, and he is the great spirit that looks over all RPG users in Battlefield 6. And the RPG really just functions as a multi-purpose weapon. It's anti-vehicle, it's anti-air, it's anti-personnel, it's great for CQB, it's great for long-range engagements. It is a sniper rifle, it works for everything. It is a magical weapon. But this is just...
It's crazy how much like early game devs like actually nerfed weapons.
Yeah.
That and that colors people's like expectations of them. Like I read there was a big discussion about how much they've wanted or they nerfed shotguns in Battlefield. Because like I remember like I grew up shooting a lot of shotguns, and I'm like, a shotgun loaded with a buckshot is like awesome inside 100 yards. Like,
so
you
I
don't need to
remember
worry about it.
in Bad Company 2, it was the SPAS specifically with the 12 gauge Sabo rounds where you could literally like one-shot people across the map. And they never ever patched that out.
Slugs, the slugs are not accurate. Like you, like okay, yeah, like maybe within 150 yards you can get reliable hits with slugs. But I'm sorry, like not. You can't snipe people with slugs.
No, of course not. But yeah, this is the spirit of Jamseed possessing me here. So. Just throwing hella grenades at me.
Hello, and load RPG.
And yeah, there we go.
That's ridiculous.
It works for everything, man. It works for everything.
So one thing about RPGs, which I don't know if they incorporated in the game, is do they take into account that it takes like 75 yards for the rocket to even arm itself?
No, it definitely does not. I have shot people from a distance of literally like 10 yards with the RPG. It just explodes on impact. It's pretty funny, actually.
So it still explodes. That's the thing is like the rocket doesn't arm if you shoot something too close to it, and it will literally just
thunk off the side.
Into the
Well, I mean, if you
shoot a person with an
RPG, that'll fucking hurt. Yeah,
it'll fucking kill them and go right through them or whatever. But it won't explode is the thing.
No, in game, like I've literally just been in a hallway and just shot at the end of the hallway. What?
There's a game that does incorporate like the arming distance of rockets. And,
it's probably like Rising Storm 2 or something like ultra realistic.
Yeah. If you're playing Rising Storm 2, like the Vietnam game, which I reinstalled and had a couple of really fun matches actually.
That's still got some servers going, huh?
Yeah, a handful.
Okay.
It was kind of hard to find like a good game, and then the players were crap.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't find like a squad lead that would like actually dig a tunnel when you're playing as the VC.
Yeah,
and
that's
like build a tunnel so that we can spawn instead of like being all the way back at like the base.
Well, you get a lot of people who take the commander's role or like the squad role, and all they want to do is like they want to use the artillery. Or on the U.S. side, they just want to call in napalm like the entire match. They don't want to actually strategize or do anything.
Yeah. And then like I'm like, okay, I'll be in my own squad, and then nobody
Mm.
joins.
Yeah,
And it's like it's
exactly.
almost like a full server, and like
Mm.
I dig a tunnel. I have a beautiful tunnel, like so close. It's the
It's
best
a
tunnel.
beautiful tunnel. It's one of the best tunnels, the biggest, best tunnel. It's gonna be huge.
And
We will
nobody
make
goes in.
Rice safe.
And I'm like sitting there like calling in, like spotting, and I have like 30 kills, like I'm slaying. That's the thing, like the more simi I've realized,
Mm.
the more simi like an FPS gets, like the better I am at it actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if you're just gonna be like arcade, like running through, like okay, I'm decent at Halo as
Mm.
well, but like if it's just like running and gunning and like
Halo's very
really,
realistic. What are you talking about?
um, well, yeah, 3 classic, Forerunner Wars.
Mm-hmm. You don't
Um,
remember that?
you know, how how could we remember it?
How could we forget?
How could we forget?
Oh,
Uh,
so in other video game news, I don't know if you saw, Total War announced Medieval 3 today.
I did see
I'm
that.
pretty
I
excited
did
about
see that.
that. It's gonna be a while before it comes out, of course, but they're gonna announce another
Yeah, they had a
game.
live action trailer, and I'm
Mm.
like,
Mm,
that's cool. They
that's
got
cool.
like a
No.
handful of actors, and they got like really cool costumes,
Mm-hmm.
and like a cool location. It was
Yeah,
just one location,
he's just sitting
but
in a crown, a throne. Yeah, but
yeah,
it was cool. But
and
yeah, I want to see
and I was like,
gameplay.
yeah, I'm like this is. They didn't have anything for us, did they?
Well, I mean, it's cool that it is coming. They're also announcing another thing next Thursday, the 11th, on my birthday, which is nice of them. But for Warhammer 3, they also announced like a new update, a new like DLC thing, and I guess they're bringing back Nagash, one of the vampire lords, is going to become like an end game scenario. So I guess they're doing a lot of like
I
end
never really
of.
followed the Warhammer stuff,
It's
so I
pretty fun. Like I have Warhammer 3 and I have the first two games, so I have like the complete like Immortal Empires trilogy thing where you just have like the entire Warhammer map and you can do whatever the fuck you want. It's fun, but it's also like it's not as fun to me as the fun I've had with historical titles like Rome 2 or Empire or Shogun 2 or Medieval 2 or anything like
the
that.
thing is when it's like a fictional game,
Mm.
like Warhammer is, like there's this inherent bias towards making it balanced
Yeah,
in a way.
but the
And
problem with that is that it takes a lot of the like I've noticed the difference between, for example, like Rome 2 or Attila or anything like that is like when the units get into combat, it's actually like soldier versus soldier. Like there's kind of a mesh, like units will hold formation and shit. And in Warhammer, what you usually get is like everything's like a special magical monster, blah 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 blah, which is fine. But it's just a lot of like blobs just kind of like rubbing against each other, and it doesn't look as cool. You can do things in the game that you can't do in the historical titles, like you have the Empire in Warhammer, which is the like one of the main human factions, and they'll have like cannons and riflemen and shit. And there's like one lord you can play as. She's like some goth person, but like she's basically the Lockheed Martin division of the Empire in the sense that like she like enhances all of the artillery with magic, so they wipe like entire armies off the map and shit. It's diabolical, but it's like at the same time you play as other things, and like you're the lizardmen, so you have literal dinosaurs like tyrannosaurs running around fucking people up. You have the Tomb Kings. That's actually one of my favorite factions because you have like mummies, and you'll have like sphinxes that'll come up and like attack people, and like giant walking statues and skeleton armies.
yeah, it's just like in especially starting with Shogun 2,
Mm-hmm.
they made it explicit like there are some factions in this game that it's like basically hopeless to play
Yeah,
as.
good luck.
Yeah. And it's like that's okay. Just like but people, and it is a game at the end of the day. You can figure out a way to like make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um it's just like as a first time player, like actually it goes back to barbarian invasion. Like
Mm.
they were like the Western Roman Empire is in the worst state that you can imagine.
You are not. Yeah, it's like you're not going to hold your territory. It's not
You
happening.
you
Like,
you cannot hold all of your territory from the start. Like most Total War games, like you can like, oh, okay, I'm gonna bite and hold my way through the map. Whereas like Western Roman Empire is like, which provinces are you going to abandon?
Yeah.
And
Like, what are
which
you
ones
going to
are going to
keep,
be?
and which ones you're just going to be fed to the enemy? Like in Attila, that's a thing too, because like from the east you have the Huns coming in, and it's literally just the historical thing is they'll show up with like 8 Doomstack armies and just wipe your cities out, and you just got to like find a way to knock them around a little bit. But like it's so different. Like in Rome 2, for example, it's a very methodical like picking sections and just kind of like washing over. I literally go into a strategic trance when I play Rome 2 because I just have like certain things I do every time to like
Well,
get things rolling faster.
there's a little algorithm to Rome too. Once you figure it out, it's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah. But no, the thing I noticed about Medieval 3 is they had like the very vaguely like Saracen looking guy.
Mm-hmm.
And like a big deal about Medieval 2 was the Crusades and
Mm-hmm.
Jihad function in
Mm-hmm.
the game. They're like, oh, you can, it's like a huge buff to your faction, whether you're Catholic or Muslim, Sunni,
Mm-hmm.
to like be able to declare a crusade or a jihad. And like they like in the dialogue I could hear them hinting at like, oh, there's like we can use trade, diplomacy, there's
Mm-hmm.
lots of like, which is always the thing that bothered me about a lot of Total War games is like basically you just have to kill everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, when like and historically you could like slowly annex and integrate subjects
Well,
is
you
what
can
a lot of
actually in Warhammer the diplomatic functions are a lot more nuanced like that. So you can actually like form confederations with other allied states, and like essentially what that means instead of having to conquer that state, like the empire, for example, is you have the main empire, and then you have a bunch of empire states which are like just little factions that are empire aligned, but they're like their own duke or their own lord or something like that. And if you advance your faction enough, you can absorb them without actually having to like go to war with them. And you can like barter and trade actual regions a lot easier. I've noticed. Like I think in Rome too, it's you can't really trade territory. Like you can give
it,
one or request one, but you can't like I'll give you this if you give me that. Like you can't do that. But in Warhammer 3, you absolutely can, and it's a lot more like it's a lot more nuanced. Is just what I'll say.
well, I mean, diplomacy was almost useless up until Shogun 2
Yeah.
came out.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I mean, before then, like you could, um, like all you wanted to do was just like set up his trade agreements with as many people as possible until you declare
Mm-hmm.
war on.
Trade
But
agreements and non-aggression pacts.
but like before then, like most people or like most factions, like you could never negotiate peace. Like they were all suicidal,
Mm-hmm.
like to the point where like, oh, I don't really want all of Canada. Like all I need is like a couple things, an empire.
Mm-hmm.
And but they're just like, no, like we're you have to kill us. And they're like, okay, I'll
All right,
oblige, like whatever.
whatever.
And the like the in the conquering Napoleon integrated that, which was good, which is that you can create a subject when you conquer a new territory and not have to directly control it. Because it's like, oh, that's a pretty realistic thing to be like, okay, we're going to set up like some puppet government and
Mm-hmm.
just move on. Civ 5 even had that function. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
just like some of the back end functions of Total War, like on the strategic map level, have always been kind of lacking. Medieval 2, like, I actually have play it pretty like it's just a relaxing thing, but like it has very noticeable bugs, like the pole arm, no two-handed unit actually functions correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's supposed to be upgrades, but like if you auto resolve with a unit full of pikes, it's great. Or like an army full, like a stack full of pikemen and vulgars or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it's great. But like if you actually fight a battle, like they never actually fight with their two-handed weapon. They always pull out a sidearm sword. And I know they're like, it's just like it doesn't work the way
Yeah.
they intended it to. Um,
Which
and
in
there's
like Rome 2, that's a lot better, especially with like your phalanx units that have like the long
yeah.
pikes.
Well,
So
I mean, it's supposed to be realistic to the point that like phalanxes did fall out of favor for 1,000 years
mm-hmm.
because of the way infantry tactics developed and how cavalry developed and stuff like that. Like a a pike phalanx is like a really inflexible, difficult thing. And in medieval 2, which of course comes before Rome 2, they really were like, oh, like obviously in Rome 1, pike phalanxes were like so OP.
Yeah.
Like you could do the cheesiest shit and just have like a couple pike units garrison an entire city and just like, never
I do
have
that.
to deal.
Occasionally, you just got to do that, man. Like, you just, like, the AI slips, like, a full stack army around, like, your fog of war, and you're just like, oh, shit. And you've got, like, 4 units of Triarii, but, like, the way they're sieging and they only have one path they come down, you're just like, all right, I'm just going to stick y'all in this tunnel, and I'm going to have all my peasant archers behind, and we're just going to bottleneck. Just fuck it. Well, I do that in Shogun 2 a lot. I love getting into engagements on, like, bridges and setting up my riflemen and just like making everybody like funnel up. No, Rome 2 and Shogun 2, making dudes funnel onto like the bridges and having the onagers just fire onto the bridge.
Yeah, the AI might be like bad.
Yeah,
but it's kind of realistic because here's the deal. Pike phalanxes are fucking OP in real life also.
They are, yeah. Like for a long ass time, that was the phalanx could not be challenged on open ground. And then Rome one time was like, wait, what if we organized our units into maniples and then fought them on uneven terrain? And the phalanxes were like, oh fuck, wait, hold on. We can't do this.
The only reason phalanxes didn't like make an immediate comeback was just because people largely forgot about them. But then like every culture independently like reinvented the shield wall simultaneously.
Yeah.
Like the Vikings did. And then you get like into the Renaissance area and they're like, oh yeah, let's get this pike wall thing going. But they still knew they needed light infantry to screen and to like they'd have swordsmen, when you'd have to push a pike in the late gunpowder era and stuff like that, you would have, guys with swords trying to basically, work their way through the spears and try and get at the actual guys there and stuff like that. But as soon as like muskets became quick enough to load, it's just like, all right, we'll stick a bayonet on it and you're a pikeman if you need to be, but basically nobody can just stand there in a phalanx anymore because you just get shot to pieces.
That's like like the end of Shogun 2, Fall of the Samurai, especially in the end of like your campaign when you've got the Gatling guns, and you've got artillery support, and you have the fully upgraded like rifleman units with rapid reload rifles. Huh?
The ships are insane.
Oh, dude, it's so wild. Like, just staging the end of The Last Samurai over and over with like the enemy just bombarding them and them running into your gunfire, and there's just like this swath of dead units that just thin out as they get closer to your military. Much fun. Oh, there's probably some news we should probably talk about too. Like,
oh yeah.
Like I guess some stuff happened. I guess we should launch into the one thing I revlogged that you noticed. Mass killings in the U.S. are at the lowest level they have been since 2006. Wow. It's almost like you and I joked about this earlier this year, that now that U.S. aid was gone, watch mass killings in the U.S. suddenly just drop off.
Even so, as I had remarked before, what you would expect is if people are going to go on like a politically, or there's people just randomly killing strangers is very historically
doesn't happen a whole lot. Like it's odd.
A lot. Most of the time people are politically motivated or socially motivated for some reason.
Like the attempts on Trump or
school shootings make sense in a fact that like it's the closest thing to prison that most people will experience in their lives, and the only time that most people experience physical violence. And so like I get that certain mentally ill people might fixate on the public school system as a way to take out their mental illness, right? Or whatever. Like I'm not excusing it, I'm just saying
it's
like
it's why it's their fixation.
But like, yeah, you would expect a lot more people to be trying to assassinate politicians, right?
Politicians or judges, or I mean, you have like Charlie Kirk, for example, which
it's telling that like of the last.
Well, yeah. As soon as I said that, I'm like, actually.
Who knows? But of like the people we've gotten put forward as like the main killers for these political motivated assassinations or attempted assassinations, like they all have like the shittiest, like 100 or 50-year-old guns, or like the like optics from Amazon.com and shit like that. And it's like that is kind of actually what I would expect from people who have so little of their life together that they think like it's a good idea to try to assassinate somebody.
Like the second.
Actually, what I would expect.
I remember the second Trump shooter with like the
Daniel Defense with like a EOTech on it.
Oh yeah, the EOTech and the hand grip all the way out here. Like we don't have the budget for that anymore. So now it's an SKS.
Not Casarda drills. What's
C-clamp?
The guy that did all the Magpul.
Guy. Chris Costa.
Costa, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, C-clamp that bitch.
Yeah, you would not expect them to have like the latest like operator gear.
Yeah.
If they are some desperate, like no prospects in life, like addicted to pornography, kind of like low life that goes out and assassinates people.
Or you have like closeted
70-year-old
you have the closeted spooks, like the individual who tried to shoot that or did shoot the National Guardsmen last week. Right before Thanksgiving, so he killed one. The other one's recovering.
By the CIA, right? Like,
yeah.
And, like, we don't even get to be like a question like, hey, didn't you
vet this motherfucker? Also, the CIA's vetting process is like, would you be willing to attack Americans if we asked for money? Absolutely, yes. Oh, cool. All right, yeah. He passes. Don't worry about it. We cleared him. Like, we don't know what the fuck they're vetting him.
Yeah, that's what they're vetting him to see if like. So, it's I don't know how many like Afghan refugees have killed law enforcement or National Guard members at this point, but I know of at least 2 cases, which is like that seems like a lot.
It does. Like
how many Afghan refugees we're supposed to have.
Exactly. Well, I was gonna say, somebody, Ink and Guns, an individual on Tumblr, wanted us to also talk about how these National Guardsmen, who, of course, are being portrayed by the left as like stormtroopers. Like you have the people going on and giving the video about like basically, don't follow illegal orders, which is like obviously, but also you can't like just tell service members to like usurp the chain of command. Like that presents its own problem. But like a couple of days after that, these 2 guys get shot, and they get shot by an individual who's worked with the CIA. And one of the senators who gave the speech was also like working for the CIA and gave a speech like a week or so earlier about an incident that could be used to blah, 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 blah. And what was I gonna... Oh, where was I going?
Well, okay, I'm curious. The Guardsmen, when they're in DC, right? Like, what are they issued?
They're not the 2 Guardsmen that got shot, for example. Like, they had no firearms. The guy was actually eventually stopped by another captain, I think, who had like a pocket knife or something, and just started stabbing the guy to get him to stop. But like, otherwise, they're either unarmed or they have a weapon, but they do not have a round in the chamber. Or they don't even have a mag in.
Yeah, I will say, to the anti-gun crowd's credit, that they were lucky that the guy only had a revolver when he was attacking them. I will say revolvers are most likely, statistically, one of the worst self-defense weapons that you can carry. At this point. It just happens that for the first 20 to 30 years of automatic pistols, semi-automatic pistols, right? But of course, if you're actually into guns, you just know them as automatic pistols, right? They're not machine pistols, which is a
Exactly.
different category. Anyways,
Anyways,
self-loading pistols
mhm.
are were largely inferiorly manufactured because of World War One for the first 20 years. That but the true double action revolver only existed or was only invented like basically a handful of years before the first self-loading pistols. Like they're very simultaneous, and it just so happened that it was much easier to manufacture, and the companies that were manufacturing double action revolvers had a much higher standard of quality than the first batch of automatic pistols that came out. Which, by the way, there were a lot of really reliable, good automatic pistols in World War One. It's just that the majority that people, particularly in the U.S., interacted with were French ruby pistols, which were really Spanish ruby pistols, which were like 17 different like handmade copies of the 1903 Colt automatic.
And then, of course, you had the 1911 2 World War champ.
The 1911s like was actually good though.
Yeah, exactly. 2 World Wars.
That's why it stuck around. That's why it stuck around to the fucking 90s. I mean, honestly, there were SEALs members like fucking carrying 1911s.
Dude, like LA SWAT had a standard issue 1911 with like a big ass streamlight until like 98 or 99. I know if you've seen the movie Speed.
Not even like a double stack.
No. Like 7 rounds, just
7 round 45 ACP.
Standard GI.
And it's like a lot of cops or a lot of departments are now switching over to they're getting rid of their P320s.
Yeah,
as we've talked about. And there a lot of them are going to 2011s as their standard sidearm again. And I honestly, it's fine. I don't think like a duty firearm should have like a 2.5 pound trigger.
Well, I mean, you also have the opposite of that. When I worked in New York, in a gun store in New York, we had specific trigger kits for like New York police departments.
Yeah,
it's literally.
Like 10-pound trigger.
I was gonna say it is. It's not like a 10-pound trigger. It's a 10-pound exact trigger. It's like very uncomfortable to pull.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you're trying to fucking staple plywood or some shit.
What it literally is, it's like you ever have that dream where you're in a self-defense situation and you pull out the gun and you try to pull the trigger and the trigger's like dude, that's literally what it's like.
I used to get those all the time after I took a bunch of or like I went through like the concealed carry course. And like when you first start carrying, you get those dreams.
Oh yeah.
And I haven't had them in a long time. But it's like this. It's like the same dream as like needing to give a speech in front of the class and you'd have no pants. You realize once you stand up in front of the class, you're like, oh shit, my dick's out.
Oh shit. No incentive. What the hell?
They're all just honestly like it should be a confidence moment because you're like, oh, everybody's just
damn, dick's out. Everyone's enjoying me. Dick's out. All right, yeah, it's just this is normal. This is a byproduct of being in public school, but whatever. Okay, so National Guardsmen got shot.
The National Guard. I was gonna say what their equipment is like. So do they even get mags?
No. So there's different conditions. They're not issued. Mags? Sometimes they're not issued anything. I guess they're like different like degrees of readiness. Where sometimes like they'll have a rifle but they won't have a mag in the rifle, or they'll just have a handgun but they won't have one in the chamber or something. But they were at a pretty low state of alertness. And this dude just walks up with a revolver, ends one of them, severely maims the other. And then they stripped him.
A 20-year-old like girl from fucking Idaho, right?
Yeah, man, just like
So, and it's like to me, and I'm not going to excuse it one way or the other as like an anarchist, but to me, the instant comparison that I make is like being in go to France, and you're like, you ask a liberal, and you're like, oh, what country do you wish, or like what what do you wish the U.S. was more like? Well, obviously like Europe, like social democracy.
Mm.
And I'm like, well, part of that is that you go to France and in the capital along all the tourist locations, there are actual gendarmerie, like National Guard,
Mm.
with loaded, ready to go condition two. They have
Mm.
the safety on, but it's a loaded mag, chambered rifle. Um, Full auto FAMAS walking around the Eiffel Tower around 10,000 tourists. Okay. And that's part of that. Just letting you know if you were uncomfortable with the National Guard walking around in uniform with like safety vests in DC.
I remember one time when I was flying back from Sanibel Island, so I was going through Fort Myers Airport in Florida. This was like during COVID, and maybe it was like a heightened alert time or something like that. But they had some fat security guard like walking through the Fort Myers Airport, which is tiny, and this motherfucker had a Sig 556 like SBR with an Elcan scope, just like openly carrying this shit around, and like I could see it, like it had like all the selectors, like it was like an LEO version where it had like the select fire capability, and everyone else is pretty nervous about it, and I'm just staring at this thing like, holy shit, man, like that's legit. Like that's cool. And I think the guard was like aggravated at me because I kept looking at him. But I'm just like, you're like 400 pounds and you have like $6,000 just hanging from your chest right now, and you're just fucking out here, man. You're just extra in all fucking regards. How do you expect me to not stare at you? Like, you fat piece of shit. I bet if I got the jump on you, I could take that rifle easy.
As expensive as that rifle was, and you stared at it, like he wouldn't feel subconscious about it.
No, exactly. Yeah. Like if this dude's got a fucking date jest on, it's like, yeah, I got a date jest. You literally got a Sig 556, brother. Like these things are hard enough to get in like rifle configuration. You have the short barreled rifle version.
Yeah, you have the 556K.
Yeah,
Like,
and you know he didn't pay for it. You know that was a fucking like uniform expense.
No, he probably has no idea what it actually costs.
But
right?
it's the Fort Myers Airport. Like there are so many just rich old people that come through there, and that area is so affluent. Like it doesn't surprise me that he had that, but at the same time, I'm just staring at this and I'm just like, bro, that's a lot of firepower. And the other thing too is it's like we're all just standing around and we're tired and we're wearing masks, and he's so authoritative with his gun, and I'm just like, this is just excessive. Like this is.
Yeah, I mean, was it like drooping on his like pot belly or something?
Kinda, yeah. Like it literally was like out here a little bit, like resting on his stomach, and like he wasn't fingering it, but he definitely had like a hand over it a little bit. And I'm just like, bro, you're not pulling fucking corner security for your chalk, okay? Like you're not. You're like relax.
That's the thing about like gendarmes in France or whatever is the FAMAS actually hangs very nicely off the shoulder.
It does.
And like they keep it for, at the most part, they'd have their hands crossed over the FAMAS, like over the handguard, like just resting on it, like, kind of up here.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah, and just be walking around, like checking out people. And, occasionally they'd have it shouldered, like in marching or whatever. But like, like the American security guard, like sitting out with like his hand in the grip, like,
yeah.
Like I can't stand that.
Like again, I would never do anything like this. But like, if I was just like, man, fuck it, I want the gun. If I just like charged at him and just knocked his ass over on his stubby little fucking liver failure legs, like I would have that shit off of his body in 10 seconds.
Like, yeah, even how good is his sling, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like he's got this
$1,000 rifle and like a $10 Amazon sling strap to it.
It's a Jongju Amazon $15 2-day Prime shipping sling.
We were doing like a Christmas tree hunting with the fam, and these park rangers come through. and are like talking to everybody at their cars as like people are loading up some trees. And I didn't get a tree down there because I had I was gonna get a tree more locally. There's better selection and stuff like that. But yeah, these park rangers come through, and I'm like putting my dog in the car. Like I got her on a leash and everything. It's fine.
Mm.
But like they're like out there to nominally write people tickets for like cutting down trees illegally or having an off leash dog or littering and stuff like that. And like, oh, these are like British cops. 'Cause they're not. All they have is a radio and bear spray. And I'm like, okay, bear spray sucks or whatever.
Yeah, it's painful.
But I'm like, so the guy comes up to me. He's like, oh, you got. We are down in Colorado. The guy's like, oh, you got Wyoming tags. So you coming to visit? And I'm like, I don't want to give you information you don't need, which is that I grew up like literally right here. I'm in my home zip code right now. I was displaced by, I was ethnically cleansed from my homelands. But
the Trail of Tears to Wyoming featuring Max.
But then, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm just visiting family. And they're like, oh, thanks for having your dog on a leash. I'm like, yeah, thanks. But like, like the gal behind him was like looking through her little like ticket book, like, and he's like, oh yeah, we're good. Like we don't need to write him up. And I'm like, you think I'm gonna show up to pay a fine?
In another state I don't live? You're out of your mind, man. Like, come and get me, motherfucker.
Like, I was like, oh, okay, this is a very high trust society moment that you're going through right now. Like, and I'm sorry, but like this is just not the world we live in right now anymore. You really thought I was gonna pay this stupid ass ticket. But I obviously there's no ticket to write for me because like, the smart thing is to only break one law at a time.
Also, your fiance totally had a hand on the boomstick, so like, she's just chilling in the truck. She's like, "Hi, officers!" Like down low, you can't see. She's got like the gun pointed this way with like the muzzle's just below the door frame, just ready to go.
Yeah, what's that scene? It's like a Quentin Tarantino.
No, it's I don't think it was
like under the arm or like a Coen Brothers. Like
I remember there was it was End of Watch, where like they're in the cop car and they're talking to some dude on the side of the road, and it's Jake Gyllenhaal's character literally has like a handgun like right here against the door, just like ready to shoot him through the cop door. But we should before we forget, we do need to cover the other big thing. We have the supposed peace agreement with Ukraine between Ukraine and Russia. And what I think is kind of tangentially related is the United States possibly gearing up to go to war with fucking Venezuela now. Yeah.
How exciting!
How exciting! I think literally, if that happens, it's literally like, all right, Russia, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut a peace deal. We're gonna convince Zelensky to take a peace deal with you, where you get to keep all the territory you've taken, and it just stops now. Or, well, it was like, in exchange for that, we're gonna do some fuck shit in Venezuela, and you're not gonna do anything about it. And Putin's like, I think we can work something out. So now we're like blowing up alleged narco boats in the Caribbean, and we have like a carrier group ready to go.
Well, I don't even get like the strategy down in like the South Caribbean right now, because it's like, okay, even if like 95% of them are narco boats, which they probably really aren't, but regardless of that, like, how is it? Here's the deal: are you just trying to shut down like Venezuelan fishing and shipping at the same time? Because it's just like, I feel like they're just trying to blow up everything that immediately crosses from Venezuela's like maritime border into international waters.
It wouldn't shock me if, like, I assume Venezuela, a lot of their trade basically goes over the ocean via vessel. So by doing this, if all of a sudden nobody wants to transport to Venezuela anymore, that could put a lot of pressure on the Maduro regime, and like, would be their attempt of trying to cause like an uprising to get him overthrown.
Well, from what I've seen, it's like very small like outboard
Mhm.
vessels that are largely getting blown up.
Yeah, there was also one where it's like,
Like where's the math work on that? Like
mm,
we've got like a $13 billion fucking carrier launching drones, like launching like $100 million drone to send a $1 million missile to blow up like a $500 boat.
carrying $50,000 worth of coke. Like, that's it.
Yeah, I'm like,
The
okay,
return is really shit here.
okay, and yeah, maybe if you calculate, or let's pretend it's not coke, it's Fent.
That, sure.
Yeah, although we know the stuff coming out of South America, it's not.
No, it's,
It's not Fent.
yeah.
The Fent is mostly coming from Canada at this point, which
I mean, if we want to start bombing
there's
Canada,
a lot of arguments to the liberation of Canada.
exactly. I think
I won't even call it annexation at this point. We need to liberate them.
exactly. It would actually be a liberation of Canada, like removing them from the. Is it still the Trudeau regime? No, he's not in power anymore.
No,
It's
it's Carney or something.
Carney. Okay, yeah, whatever. But I mean, I'm sure what we could do is we just drop weapons into Alberta. I think Alberta could take care of most of it.
Yeah. Well, how about like but we need to be providing small arms support to the moderate rebels
Exactly.
in Alberta and Saskatchewan.
We should be sending F-16s to proud Albertan patriots so they can liberate their cities with missiles.
But like let's pretend it's Fent, right? Like it's a boatload of Fent. And they always do that like math where it's like, if 50,000 people could take the raw dose of this much Fent, they would all overdose. And it's like, but we know they're taking like 50 doses basically out of this. Like I know like that eventually they'll overdose like at 100, like one in a 1,000 doses is going to be an overdose or something like that. Maybe it's more. I haven't looked into statistics or anything like that, but Fent users seem to stick around slightly, or homeless drug addicts stick around longer than you might think. But that might be a Lindy effect thing. You know what I'm saying? Where they're like the ones that don't OD immediately, like have it figured out, like they know what to do.
Oh,
so
maybe
just thinking out loud about this.
Yeah.
I even then it's like, okay, let's say like an insurance company values the average American at like, I've always heard the stat as like $3 or $5 million or something like that. Okay, so 500 Americans, or maybe it's 5,000 Americans. Let's say 1 in 10 are going to OD on all that Fent, assuming it's pure Fent, and they're all going to OD on it, or it's 1 in 100 OD on it. So what's the math workout on that? It's like 5,000.
Bro, I'm way too high for that.
500 times 5 million is 2.5 billion. So okay, like maybe the math works out. I'm just trying to figure it out. But why is the U.S. government covering for these insurance companies?
Exactly.
But it's not even, they don't even pay out the life insurance in the first place. So I don't get it. Nobody's saving money on this. It's just a way to give money to weapons companies to blow shit up.
No, it's exactly it. They're like, hey, listen, if we're not backing Ukraine anymore, we got like a bottom line to protect, and we're like, hang on, yeah, we got you, man. We're just gonna shift over, get a little Monroe, if you will. But I did see too today, like a bunch of European leaders got together and they're like, oh, we have to save Zelensky. And it's just like, why do you have to save Zelensky? Like, why is he the most important thing? He's really not.
He I think there's a lot invested in him at a certain point.
There definitely is.
it would look really bad if certain military commanders were to suddenly roll into Kyiv and execute the president, um, which there is a definite non-zero chance of happening at some point
Mhm.
as this war comes to a conclusion. Like, you will see the same kind of rogue SS battalion behavior that you saw towards the end of World War II.
I mean, you're already
Um,
having a mild collapse in like part of the Ukrainian government because there's like some corruption scandal going on, and I guess the second in charge individual in the country under Zelensky like resigned. And the whole time too, there's this question of like, what the hell are they doing with all of this money we're sending? And there was a video recently. I'm going to see if I can find. Actually, I don't know if I want to see it. So you all can look this up. And if it doesn't exist, my bad. But I definitely saw this. Zelensky is like on a Zoom call with like a bunch of people. And like it's kind of like a top down view. So you're kind of looking at him like this. And you can kind of see up his nose a little bit. And he says something. And this white chunk of something just flies out of his right nostril as he's talking. And it's like, oh, okay, that's where all of the money went. They're all fucking doing coke.
I mean, there is something highly selective that you can tell about American versus European, like the Remainers versus the people who immigrated to the U.S. And like Europe's great to go on a vacation to, right? Because it's like, oh yeah, sitting out on a patio on a street, enjoying some wine and some like very delicious, sweet, fatty thing,
Mm-hmm.
savory thing that like you know, just being in the sun,
Mm-hmm.
everything like that. You're like, oh, this is just so luxurious. Why would I ever want to leave this? And then there's the people who were like, I must go to America in order to pursue the new Zion, in order to establish the holy order of my particular flavor of Protestantism.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think there's something to that. Just there was that natural selective bias between like Americans just like always struggling and like we're like, oh yeah, I drive fucking 45 minutes just to go to the grocery store. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
The only thing I've eaten was a donut made in a factory. Tasted like a fucking like piece of cardboard with some sugar glazed on it.
It was
Like
delicious.
that's the average American experience. And you know,
I literally had a gas station donut today that was from one of the Mavericks around here, and it was actually decent.
Maverick has done something to elevate gas station food
They really
across
have.
the West.
They really have.
Here's the thing, like New York doesn't have gas stations really.
Mm-hmm.
And so like everybody's like, "Oh, the bodegas are to die for." And I'm like, "No, it's just like mediocre local
Yeah.
convenience food is what it
Like
is."
I've had my share of like bodeganess, like not in New York City, but like in upstate New York, Albany, Schenectady, you have bodegas, and the quality's not there. Like in a Maverick, it's pretty fresh stuff. Like it hasn't like snacks that haven't been sitting around for years. Like your average bodega, yeah, maybe you might find something good in there, but what you're getting is like candy that like really is like old, but like it's still okay. But like it's when you bite into it, you're like, yeah, this is definitely like you just taste old. Like I know you've had that.
Yeah. Oh, one thing, like when you live in like a smaller town,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, it happens everywhere. But like you go somewhere off the beaten path
Mm-hmm.
where like not everything sells all the time.
Yeah.
Like you buy something, like you want to check the best buy date. You're
Yeah,
just
for
like,
sure. Like I remember I was going through Jackson Hole once and like I stopped in a gas station there. And it wasn't the Maverick, it was like some off-brand place. There's like everything was like wood and like cowboy folksy. And I got I think some beef jerky and it literally was like, wow, this is the beef jerky I guess they managed to get from the Confederate Army because it just tasted like a storage
Mr.
room.
Clark left this behind.
Yeah, seriously, man. Like they pulled that shit from the fucking like baggage train of Custer's army and they just distributed it across the West. Yeah. What else happened last week?
So it's the National Guard shooting.
Thanksgiving, of course.
Thanksgiving.
That was nice.
Happened.
Yes.
That was nice. I mean, I did talk about like tree hunting.
Right. Yeah.
That was.
We had
life. Sometimes I would recommend not using. It's difficult, but like you can abandon your username and go into real life as not like Stinky Foot Fetishist 69 or something like that. You can touch some grass or something like that. There's a big hubbub about Somalis.
Oh, there is that too. Yes.
I feel like we discussed this before, but
I mean,
like
we've got
it was recently revealed that like a lot of the charities in Minneapolis are like funneling money to Al-Shabaab.
Yeah, like it's not even a little bit. It's also like, excuse me, I think the Minnesota like Department of Homeland Services Twitter page got like shut down recently because they were openly like, yeah, we've actually been calling Tim Waltz out on this for years. Like he's straight up been abusing these programs and he knows this is happening and he doesn't care. He's more than willing to just send this money out and not give a shit what happens to it. And
have you ever encountered like Caleb Hammer?
I'm gonna look up who that is real quick.
Financial Audit. It's like a YouTube show where he interviews people who are down on their finances and screams at them for being. So the thing is, like, people are really starting. It's a pretty popular show at this point, and people are really latching onto it. And there's this certain crowd of people who are like, you can never hold people accountable for abusing welfare or for making poor life choices. Like, at any point, you always have to be supportive of people who are on welfare or who are poor, like in financial dire straits, because like it's never their fault. Never. It's basically the thing. And like Caleb, I think himself does not consider himself to be like a right winger, but he's like very, I think, normie centrist, like millennial, where he's like, oh, I wish there were more trains and like we should have affordable housing, and like I really wish that like the social welfare system was available to people who really need it. The thing is like the people who come on his show are like, oh yeah, I haven't paid tax. I work under the table as a contractor and I haven't paid taxes in 5 years. And because I don't write my income off, I can get free like healthcare, subsidized housing, and childcare to the tune of like what is like probably $40,000 per year on top of like my unreported $100,000 income. And they're just like on a YouTube show, like with their real face there,
casually admitting this.
And like he's like, this is not what the system is set up for. Like you're abusing the system, like calling them out to their face. And yeah, he's like, people are now starting to be like, no, he's right wing because like he's mean to people on welfare. It's like, okay, are you really going to stake out that position?
Max, you didn't know that fascism is actually just holding people accountable for their actions. Like, that's fascist.
And here's the deal. Like, I totally get gaming the system as much as you can, because it is a collapsed system and there's no saving it. But if you're going to go on YouTube with your real face, not real names, they use fake names.
With just your real face and be like, yeah, I'm actively committing fraud.
Yeah, I've defrauded the federal government and the state government for like hundreds of thousands of dollars over the last few years. And like And here's the thing, like tax evasion is always moral,
Mm.
but on top of that tax evasion, seeking out government subsidies because you're lying about your income, like that goes.
It's a bit
That's the next
much.
level. That's the next level above that. So, but anyways, we were talking about the welfare and like
Yep.
how, like, yeah, you just can't criticize anybody
Nope.
whoever takes welfare, and it's like they're literally funneling money to like ISIS in the Horn of Africa.
It's like how many of these people coming in, how many millions of people have been given like homes like on the taxpayer dime or just like subsidized housing at the same time. At the same time we have like a housing crisis. Like rent has gone up, mortgages have gone up, interest rates have gone up, housing supply is low, at least what it needs to be, and we're just gonna invite these people over and we're just gonna give them a house. This is all you
No,
gotta do to get a free
you
house.
don't get it. America is not full.
Mm.
If we ground the entire world's population into a fine paste and
That's true.
excluded them
That's true.
about 1 foot deep across the plains of Texas, they would only really feel about 10 square miles.
That's true. I also heard if you take every person on Earth and you roll them into a giant ball, like Katamari style, it would only be the size of like Rhode Island, or not even. Like I think it would probably fit in like New York Harbor. So that's nothing. I mean, it's nothing at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What other discourse did I see?
Candace Owens may or may not be losing her shit. I don't know, but she's like predicting a terrorist attack.
France is going to assassinate her.
France is going to assassinate her, and they're going to do it to cover up a massive terrorist attack that's going to happen sometime in December. I don't remember the time frame. I think she said the first 2 weeks of December or something like that, and I don't know. Like it'll just. When the time comes up, they'll just pivot to some new, deeper conspiracy that explains why the other things didn't happen. And we'll just be listening to people going, I believe Candace. They really want to take her out, man. They're not doing it now because she exposed the truth. It's like, all right, bro. You roll with that. What else happened? I don't know. With the holidays and my work schedule, like admittedly, I'm even more tuned out than I normally am. Like we also had Black Friday, of course. So that was I was running around like a fucking maniac all day Friday and Saturday. It was great. Like it was way better than it was last year, but I'm fucking exhausted, dude.
Yeah. How do you feel about the economy?
It's not. So far, we're doing okay for the holiday season. I did see a little factoid that like 95% of all purchases made on Black Friday were financed. And like of those purchases, most people do not plan on paying it off over the next 30 days. And it's just like, ooh, okay. There's a certain degree of that. Like we also have in-house or in-store financing that's like designed that way where it's deferred interest, but you have like 6, 12, and 18-month terms you can qualify for based on how much you're spending. So that's not necessarily a bad thing if they're making the payments, but it's like, it's a lot of financing. It's a lot of credit usage.
The number of like car loans that are going underwater at this point is at the highest, I think, and since they've recorded it.
Yeah.
The only thing that's not happened yet is like the number of home loans and like foreclosures hasn't gotten there yet. It hasn't got to like 2008. But there's a couple things I think going on where like definitely there is a contraction overall in the economy, and like you'll be talking to people like I have a friend who or an acquaintance or whatever who's like, oh yeah, I just opened a import business for boutique Japanese clothing.
You're just like, what?
And I'm like, was that the like best idea you could come up with?
Well, is this like somebody's wife? Like, not to be that guy, but this is like a business a wife tries to do and like wastes her husband's money.
Kind of a trustafarian.
Oh, a trustafarian. Okay.
Yeah. Like his. Anyways, I'm trying to see. if there's any latest news about like foreclosures. I'm not seeing it.
Probably wouldn't yet. Like that'll probably come like Q1 next year, like February-ish.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the deal: is like I think there is fundamental strength returning to the economy
Mm-hmm.
in a sense. Like there is some price discovery happening, and there is some actual investment and growth
Mm-hmm.
happening. At the same time, like we might see negative GDP numbers just because, like, if, as the numbers say, like 2 million people have left the United States in the last year or,
Mm-hmm.
11 months, whatever it is. Like each one of those people nominally adds an amount to GDP. It might not be like the average GDP, but they do add some amount, and there's going to be like a contraction in the overall GDP. The
Mm-hmm.
thing is to look at the GDP per capita of the U.S. is like the people who are staying um, might be better off on the whole than if you count everybody. Now, add into that, like, of the people who were here perhaps illegally and got a FHA loan,
Mm-hmm.
like, do they care if they had a government subsidized loan and then they like are like, okay, well, I always had this second place in Mexico
Yeah, like
or
whatever.
something
Oh
like
no, I'm getting
that.
deported away from my debts. Oh, terrible.
Yeah, yeah, say you're some contractor who has like $100,000 truck that you write off on your taxes all the time, and you got a home loan. There's all this stuff, um, and then all this like it would be really clutch. Like, and this is the thing that like people talk about on Reddit sometimes. Be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just run up my credit cards as much as possible and then move to some country and just forget about it. Like, and so that might also cause like because the financial sector is like the biggest part of the U.S. economy right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it?
I mean,
I'm
outside of whatever's happening with like AI.
oh, that's true. That's
Mm-hmm.
true. But like from 2000 to 2008 to 2020, like financial sector was the largest part of the economy.
For sure.
Um, like banks and investment firms and stuff like that. And so like they totally financialized the economy into debt that they can service with interest. And then all of a sudden, like people aren't there to even pay the interest or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I wonder. Zero hedge. Let's just
Peruse that.
browse through that. So you're talking about we must protect Vladimir.
Mm-hmm.
European leaders conspiring against the Trump peace plan. Trump's next national strategy will center on humanoid robots. Honestly, dude, here's the thing people aren't considering about humanoid robots. I know they look goofy right now,
Mm-hmm.
but when you get like a good training mechanism on them that they can do surgery, like you have the best surgeon possible that can do robotically precise, stuff on everybody. Like everybody, I think thinks about like AI and robots taking over the top, or not the top. Sorry, like eliminating low skill work. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, no, 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 no. The first work that gets eliminated is the high skill work. Like autopilot on planes already mostly flies the planes.
Mm-hmm.
The only people who've the only reason planes crash is because of human error and like mechanics on the ground who don't check everything. And it's like, oh, if you got a robot that scanned everything and like made sure it was perfect every time,
Mm-hmm.
like they're not far from having.
The robot's not
Um,
gonna like have a bad day where it only gets 3 hours of sleep
yeah,
and its wife is leaving it and like it doesn't notice the crack in the airframe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or yeah, that there's like one propeller like not timed properly in the turboprop or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Yeah, I think robots are going to come for high school jobs first.
Yeah. I
Anyways,
I am ready for iRobot. I've got enough armor piercing ammunition. I'm ready to go.
I don't have enough AP.
You just gotta get some green tip, bro. That's all you need. Get you green tip. Get you.
What's the black tip on the 7.62 though?
Oh, that too. That'll also do it.
Somali fraud is exploding. The scandal. We talked about that for a second. Victim mentality. Here's a headline from Zero Hedge. Tim Walz whines about people driving by his house shouting retard.
Yes. That's hilarious.
ICE arrests another Afghan national accused of supporting ISIS.
Saw
Salafi
that.
is an illegal alien terrorist who entered the U.S. on September 8th of 21. Okay, anyways. Federal watchdog reveals rampant Obamacare fraud. 90% of bad DACA applicants approved in. I don't know what that means entirely.
I saw that one too. It's like, I guess the thing to watch for the next episode is going to be whether or not we either start striking Venezuela or we have a terrorist attack of some kind. Which, I don't know. I could see the Venezuela thing happening, and of course, who knows? Like, obviously, I hope nothing happens, but nothing happens. So,
I don't know. I think they're really happy with the current situation, which is why they've let it persist for months at this point. Which is that, hey, we're going to sell really the U.S. government's going to buy these really expensive missiles, and we're going to blow up some small boats in the middle of the sea.
That did remind me. There was an incident where I guess we gave like some super like advanced glide GPU to Israel, who dropped it on Qatar or Lebanon or something, but it didn't go off, and it just crashed. And the U.S. was like begging the country to like go in and be able to either take the bomb back or destroy it before the Chinese have a chance to get it. And it's just like, good luck with that, man. But I think the last thing we should circle back to the fact that we were absolutely right in predicting that abolishing U.S. aid would result in less mass attacks and mass shootings. Like, I just want to go back to that because like I've been noticing this more. We need to invent like a graphic for it. Maybe Matt can help us out. A graphic that just says like the Alter podcast was right again or something like that. Because like I was right about the timeline for striking Iran. There was another thing I was correct. Oh, the government closing. I was like, I predicted that timeline. We predicted that U.S. aid getting abolished. I think you actually led with that joke. Was like, yeah, mass attacks, or there's going to be less of them. So that's 3 right now. I did say that I thought we were going to start striking Venezuelan targets, like land targets, Monday night when Cyber Monday ended, but we haven't yet. So that's the one that proves the exception because it didn't happen on the podcast. I posted about it on Tumblr. But we should what prediction should we make?
I see. I think given the situation with the guardsmen and stuff like that in DC, and then there are people. I don't know if it's just hysteria or whatever, but like there's reports of like ISIS sweeping like Charlotte and North Carolina, and like
Minnesota.
ISIS sweeping Minnesota for Somalis and stuff like that, and just like. I would not be surprised if we're going to see, because like we've talked about this before actually, where it's like, when does like the cartel level organized violence start against ICE at a certain point? Because like, okay, we've seen like a lone wolf attacks from either disgruntled like progressives or like people like blocking in cars or like driving the U-Haul van at the ICE checkpoint.
And there was that one guy that tried to shoot a bunch of ICE agents and accidentally just shot a bunch of like people being detained instead because the ghost of Charlie Kirk was like.
So a guardian angel redirecting the bullets or something.
So actually, that was one of the things I wanted to mention. So You remember how you definitely said this? You were like, everybody who's ever tried to like stage an assassination for some political purpose, usually the
Mhm.
opposite happens. Like it doesn't work, and
Yeah.
what you don't want to happen happens. And
Yeah.
the assassination of Charlie Kirk is, to get him to shut up and stop doing what he does and make him go away. And now he's fucking everywhere in everything. Like partially because people are making memes about him
We
with the
are
AI.
Charlie Kirk,
There's that. The fucking "We Are Charlie
the
Kirk" song
daring
is like
flame.
now the most streamed song ever. And it's just like, are you winning yet? Did you accomplish what you set out to do? Because it seems like you can't go a day now without seeing his face or hearing something about him or something. So it's just everywhere now, man. Good job. Good job. You could have just let him have his little
He was
fucking
a
campus.
consistent background
Yeah,
noise.
and now he is front page everywhere in everyone's peripheral. Like he's just there, man. He's like he's like the Rizzler. That's the level of saturation we're talking about right now.
Um, we're just quickly
Mm.
scrolling back to perhaps the last time. Oh, did you see the mass arrests? I have been on anarcho tyranny for a long while now.
Mm.
Did you see the mass arrests of college students for underage
I
drinking in
did see
Arizona?
that. I did see that. I'm amazed they actually have cops available to do that, considering they can't do anything else.
Exactly. So going to them like feigning to write me a ticket for like walking my dog in a park on a leash.
Mm.
Um they if there's here's the thing that in certain college towns there's a tacit agreement
Mm.
that you know we aren't that strict about IDs at certain locations,
Mm.
and the kids go there to drink, and you know it's happening, but it's fine. But yeah, they busted like hundreds of kids at this big bar down in Arizona, and you're just like,
Really?
these these kids' parents and they themselves are probably the only net taxpayers like in U.S. society at this point.
Exactly.
And 249 underage drinkers in a bar raid. Now, I will say, like, it's kind of on the bar for like, hey, you gotta like keep it a little bit under the table. But here's the thing: it shouldn't have come down to a police raid.
Yeah.
The police the fact that you're going to issue this many citations is total failure. What should have happened is the police go to the bar and they say, "Hey, you guys failed your like we we sent some undercovers to like do an ID screen test for you guys.
Mm.
You guys aren't IDing enough. Now, you can either pay
Oh,
this
fine.
fine or you can actually step up and we will be testing you continuously with our
Mm.
underage agents or whatever, or fake IDs and stuff like that. And that's the way to solve this. It's not to write 250 fucking tickets to kids who like there's an understanding
Yeah.
between the community there. And fucking the 21-year-old drinking age is bullshit anyways, but
Mm.
um yeah, just it's another classic example of like anarcho tyranny, because
Yeah.
like people are definitely in that fucking town shooting up in the fucking park.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Oh, for sure.
And they don't do anything about that. They're not going to
Mm.
write 250 citations and do blood tests on them and stupid shit.
Mm.
um oh, there's a big discussion about if you can't incarcerate your way out of violence when when El Salvador exists.
Yeah.
Um, Turns out if you just put the people who commit all of the violent crimes in a cage, they don't commit violent crimes against normal people anymore.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Who'd have thought?
Oh,
Um,
Saint Luck the Laughter says he drives by billboards with his face on them daily, probably talking about Charlie Kirk. I do too. I literally live in Utah County in Utah where he died, so it's like he's everywhere. I drive by UVU on a daily basis.
IT consultant was arrested by police in Britain after he posted a picture of himself online posing with a
Oh,
gun in the
I
U.S.
saw that. That's insufferable.
On the other hand, city councillor in Derby, Ajit Atwa,
Mhm.
will not resign over his picture posing with an AK-47 in front of a picture of a known terrorist.
And the location of that was, I don't know
It was
where
like in
that was.
Syria.
It was like in Syria, yeah. So it's just like, okay. Anarcho-tyranny in action.
Um, what else is there on that front? I'm not sure.
I mean,
Total boomer luxury communism update.
hmm.
Uh, the well-off baby boomers hoarding opportunities and resources while young people struggle to buy a house and support generous Social Security and Medicare benefits that the richest boomers expect. The current median net worth by age. I could put up the chart, but it's fun for us to guess or have you guess for the audience here.
Oh boy.
What do you think the median net worth is for people under the age of 35? Median, not average.
$20.
20 bucks. A little more than
A little more than that.
Oh.
$30.
Add a couple zeros.
Add a couple zeros. 2,500.
Okay,
10,000.
a few zeros. Yeah, it's 40,000.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. What do you think it is for people aged 65 to 75?
1.5 million.
That is close to the average, but not the median.
Like 850,000?
Still high. It's 410. 410,000.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So,
damn.
Yeah, 10 times the net worth.
Yeah. Gotta love it.
Anyways, what else did I see lately? Oh, the new fair installations in the New York City. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm being summoned by Scooby to get my ass off the computer, apparently.
Indeed. Well, you should do that.
I should. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another episode of The Altar. Next week, I'm going to see if I can pull a work miracle and actually get us back to a Wednesday night meeting, but I'll let everybody know about that Monday. That being said, thank you again for joining us. We hope you guys stay safe till next week. We hope your holiday shopping goes well, and get that shit done now. Don't put it off. And outside of that, remember, it is Merry Christmas, and taxation is theft.